Dear students, in the previous video we read about the plant tissues, right? Sorry. So we read about the plant tissues. In the plant tissues, you already have finished the first kind or first division of the plant tissues, that is simple permanent tissues. No, sorry, not simple, but it's parenchyma. Parenchyma, they are temporary in nature. Their cells keep on dividing and resulting in the multiplication of cells. They are generally present in the growth region of the plant body, and they are mainly responsible for the growth in the plant body, right? You know, in the meristematic tissue, what we found is the cells, they are full of cell sap, that is cytoplasm, keep on dividing, very thin cell wall. There is either no intercellular space, or at occasions or at places we notice some intercellular spaces. And in that you have read three further classifications based on their location in the plant body. So you have seen the meristematic tissues which are present at the apical region, that is at the shoot apex, at the shoot top, and at the bottom root tip. So here you have the spence tip. So at the top tip and at the bottom tip of the plant, they are responsible for apical growth in the plant body, and hence based on their location and kind of growth they cause, we call them apical meristematic tissue, or simply apical meristem, right? The second kind that we have read, that give thickness to this thickness, this, if this is the plant body, this thickness increases this way. In the beginning this system is very thin. After few days or months or years, this system becomes very thick, right? How this thickness, this growth is parallel to the surface, so lateral growth. So the cells present on the lateral sides that cause lateral growth in the plant body, they were called lateral meristem. Simple, based on the location and kind of growth they cause lateral meristem. And the third kind of meristematic tissue that we read is in between the nodes, called the intercalary meristem. That intercalary meristem caused the development or increase in the size of the stem, right? These are responsible for the elongation of the stem, very common and very active in the grasses or grass family plants, mainly the bamboo, sugarcane, maize. In such plants, in between the cells, and these are ultimately responsible for developing the leaves and branches also, right? These cells, these intercalary cells or tissues, remain present in between the nodes, and the nodes elongate, increase in size, right? So this is all about the parenchyma, sorry, not parenchyma, meristematic tissue that you have read, right? The second basic classification of plant tissue is permanent tissue. The name permanent tissue suggests its permanency. Permanency means it will retain its shape, size, and location for long. Do you follow? So you see, so today we are going to read about the permanent tissue. I'll give you a sketch of the plant tissues again, so that you can recall the things from the previous video, and we will continue. So I'll just write once, try to follow, right? So this plant tissue, this plant tissue is classified as meristematic, meristematic, and the second kind is permanent. Name I have told you why meristematic is for the time being. Permanent, they retain their shape, size, and structure for long. They do not often change these features. So name permanent. In meristematic, you have read about the first kind, apical meristem. Second, the lateral meristem. And the third kind is intercalary. Right? See, these are the three kinds. Apical meristem causes apical growth, up and down. Lateral meristem causes lateral growth, this side and this side, thickness. Intercalary meristem is causes elongation in the stem. If these are the nodes, so this place elongation in this area. This is actually important. What is its importance? You may have seen grasses, the Indian doob. This Indian doob is grazed away by the grazing animals like the herbivores like the cows, goat, horses, other cattle or the dairy animals, right? So they graze away the tip. Will it stop growing? Will the plant die? No. So in the grasses you see, even if that grass is grazed away, its tip, apical meristem, is eaten away by the grazing animals. Then even then this plant grows in size, increases in its size, right? Suppose this is the grass, you see, this is the grass tip, this is the grass tip, this much is grazed away. Will it start, will it stop growing and developing? No, it will. In such case, what will happen? You see these nodes, in between the nodes, what is there? This intercalary meristem, and this intercalary meristem causes increase in this size and further branching. So from here another branch will appear that will grow, and this way further branching, then leaves, more leaves, and elongation in the stem and branches. All this is carried out by intercalary. All this we have discussed in the previous video. Today we will take this topic, permanent tissues in plants. Permanent tissues. These permanent tissues at the first stage are classified as, the first kind is simple permanent plant tissue, and the second group we have classified at the base is the complex one, complex permanent tissue. Now why the name simple permanent tissue? At this stage I must tell you, simple permanent tissue is very simple in its configuration, in its make, in its structure and function. You see the cells in simple permanent tissue that make this tissue, they are simple in nature, means they are generally of the same kind, means let's see their shape. So shape will not be complex in the sense that one may not be of spherical size, and the other cell in this may not be triangular, or the other may not be hexagonal. This way you will not see. This way you will not see in case of simple permanent tissue. If the cells are spherical, all these cells in this tissue will be spherical. If these cells are polygonal, all these cells will be polygonal regarding the structure I am telling and shape, right? If the cells are oval, they will be oval. right? Or if the cells are elongated, they all will be elongated. It is similarity will be there in the structure. Next, regarding their aspect feature, vitality. If the cells are living, if one of the cell is living, nearly all the cells that make this simple permanent tissue, they will be living, right? If this is the feature, they are all will be living only. But what is the difference? Here you see, in complex permanent tissue, the shape may vary. One cell may be spherical, other may be oval, other may be rectangular, triangular or cone shape. Shape will change. Second thing is, in the complex tissue, if one cell may be living, the other may be dead. So here the kind of cells, more than one kind, the two kinds of cells or three kinds of cells together make this complex permanent tissue. Right? Means at the basic level you can understand that the cells in complex permanent tissue, they are made up of two different kinds, say living and dead cells together make complex permanent tissue, and the simple permanent tissue is made up of all living cells. This is the basic or core difference between the simple permanent tissue and the complex. You must remember the difference. Sometimes in the examination this is asked, so be careful. What is the basic difference between simple permanent tissue and the complex permanent tissue? Simple permanent tissues, they are made up of all living cells. Means all the cells that make this tissue simple permanent, they are living cells. Whereas in this complex permanent tissue, the cells that make this tissue, they are some of these cells present in this complex permanent tissue may be dead and some of them may be living. What happens actually in the population of cells that make this permanent tissue, some start dying because of aging, right? They are important. Don't think that they become waste in the plant body after their death. No, death means they just stop carrying out the vital functions, right? So these dead cells present there, they are mainly for the support of these living cells present there, either mechanical support or storage support, or this with the support in one or the other way for their support for the living cells present in at this place. So further this simple permanent tissue, we read under three headings. So that is parenchyma, and third one is sclerenchyma. Right. So this simple permanent, you see, this parenchyma is made up of all living cells. All cells in parenchyma, they are living. In collenchyma, all cells are living. When you go to sclerenchyma, all the cells are dead. You may have seen the shell of coconut, or you may have seen the shell or packing of groundnut. Groundnut you have seen, or most of the nuts, very hard cells, they protect the seeds, right? The, these hard cells, they are sclerenchyma, right? It's because these cells, they die. Do you understand? So I will discuss or pick these topics one by one in the next video. But you must know about the permanent tissue is basically classified as simple permanent tissue and complex. What's the complexity in the complex permanent tissue? That the cells that make this tissue, some of them are living, some of them are dead. Right? So that's why structurally we call them complex. They are complex in their structure. Here all the cells may be either living or dead. No middle option or no mixing. That's why it's simple permanent. So permanent tissue, simple permanent tissue and complex. Simple permanent tissue is further studied as parenchyma, parenchyma, sclerenchyma, right? And this complex permanent tissue is only two we have to read at your level, and that is xylem and phloem. So this complex permanent tissue is, first one is xylem and the second one is phloem, right? These are conducting tissues in the plant body. Conducting means help in the transportation of water and minerals as well as the prepared nutrients of food in the from the leaves to different parts of the plant body. You know, one of them absorb water and mineral and help it to take it to conduct it to the leaves, whereas the phloem helps in the translocation of the material. Translocation means locating in between. Trans meaning in between, and location means to locate. Right here, where? So what happens? Whatever is, the leaves, they make food for the plant, and whatever food these leaves make, that is transported through these cells. It is not these cells hold them like a bus, we load something and bus goes. No, they are just medium for that. They help, they facilitate this passage. They are the conducting media. The electrical wire that is used in your house, so it helps in the translocation of electrons from one place to another place, from the source to your appliances, right? Similarly, in the plants, whatever is prepared or the product in the leaf, that is translocated, that is a facilitation is there. These tissues, they provide a medium through which, a channel through which this material goes and reaches to different parts of the plant for meeting the requirement, right? That's all in this video. So I will just recapitulate what we have read today. So plant tissues are basically classified as meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue we read under three headings, subheadings. So first one is apical meristem. I have told you apical meristem as it is present at the apex of the plant body, and that is at the shoot tip and the root tip, and it is causing the apical growth, that is towards the sun and towards the center of the earth. So this is called apical meristem, and these cells are very rapidly dividing cells. That is the feature of meristem, and they keep on multiplying the number of cells, and hence a fast development is noticed in this region, right? Then second comes the lateral meristem, that causes the thickness in the plant body, and the growth is parallel to the surface of the earth, that is lateral growth, hence it is called lateral meristem, and they are responsible for causing thickness in the plant's stem. And then comes the intercalary meristem. The intercalary meristem is present in between the cells in the middle, and it causes, it's like bursting inside, and it causes the elongation in between the nodes. The size of the, you may have seen the nodes are very close when the in a sugar plant. If you keenly observe a sugarcane plant or a bamboo plant, nodes are nearer, but after some time, these nodes, the gap between the nodes increases. Is because of intercalary meristem, and this is very important as regards the plants whose apical meristems generally get damaged, right? And this is the intercalary meristem that causes the growth in that plant body. The second kind we have read permanent tissue. As I have told you, permanent, the name permanent says that their shape sizes do not change, right? They are, a few of these cells either divide or nearly they stop the process of cell division. They do not cause any growth and development. Read under two headings, simple permanent tissue and complex. Simple permanent tissue, I have as the name simple, is because the kind of cells are uniform. Uniform in the sense that is of the same kind. Either all the living cells will make this tissue, or all the dead cells will make this tissue, or all the circular cells will make the tissue, or all the oval cells will make this tissue, or all the hexagonal cells or polygonal cells will make the tissue. So similar kind. This is simple. Why the complex? Here, the some of the cells are living, some of the dead. You cannot say that all the cells are living or dead in case of complex. That's why that complexity makes its name complex tissue. In simple permanent tissue, we have parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. I'll pick this topic separately in my next video, right? And here in complex permanent tissue, I have told you these are the conducting tissues. In the plant body, we have to read about xylem and phloem. That's all in this video. Today's questions that you have to write in this. The first question you have to write is difference differentiate between simple permanent and complex permanent. Simple permanent and right. So this is first question. Second question is write the importance of and feature, that is location and function, of this intercalary meristome. That's all in this video. Thank you. So these two questions you will write in your notebook. Okay. Often you call me and ask where to write in your biology notebook, right? And you need to draw the figures also if possible for you. You can just take the help of the book. In your book, the nice figures are given there. You can take the help, or you can Google also. Yeah, you can take the help of the internet media, and you can do the figures also in this regard. You can add something in the knowledge in this regard. Okay. Okay, thank you. Take care. Keep healthy.